his art and said, "This is the person I want for issue 51. Yes. So excited. So Rene is going to come and talk about his art for a bit. And Rene Perez is a professional self-taught artist based out of San Marcos. Perez began painting work at age 34 and has prolifically produced over 1,000 artworks. Working at a car dealership installing car alarms for over 20 years, he would sneak off upstairs and paint every chance he had, and would moonlight nights and weekends. Years later, he left his job to pursue his true calling and hasn't looked back. Later commissioned by the city of San Marcos to paint 10 mini murals, his work started to spill into the streets, parks, and local businesses. Perez has been featured in numerous publications, morning shows, and news media for his unique style and charm. We're so happy you're in this issue.
Hopefully y'all can hear me because I'm the best speaker. So I'd like to thank everybody for coming, and my wife, and my family's here, my mom and dad, and Malvern books, and Borderlands, and Baylita, where are you? Thank you for thinking of me, always. You're always thinking of me. I put down over 1,000 books. Over 1,000 works, because at first I had thousands, and my wife was like, "Are you sure you done thousands?" And I'm pretty sure I have done 1,000. So this year I started numbering them, so maybe I could kind of keep track. But I started. I had no idea. I was 34 years old. I was just working at my job. My brother was always telling me, like, "What are you doing, dude? Like, you can't do this for the rest of your life." And I didn't really know. And my wife was pregnant, and she, my sister, and my other brother, they're very artistic. They've always been painters, and I haven't. And so my sister was over painting a mural on the nursery. And I kind of rushed her. I was like, "Hurry up!" I was like, "Come on!" Like, our baby's gonna be due in 6 weeks. And she's like, "Why don't you try it?" And she gave me a brush. She kind of told me what to do. And I stayed up till 1 in the morning that night. And I looked back at what I did, and I was like, kind of like, "Wow, cool." And I was very excited to show Susan the next day. And she wakes me up like at 6:30 in the morning. She's like, "My water broke." So we're like going to the hospital, and our Santiago was born the next day or the next couple of days, and so it was kind of like the birth of my painting, kind of, and the child kind of came hand in hand, and so they've always been growing together. I became a father and an artist, and that's 34, 46 now, and it's just I haven't stopped. And I mean, once I found out I had that gift, I actually had somebody's like, I was like, maybe I could try painting something else. So I got a picture of my cat. And I was like, well, I'll try to paint this picture of my cat. And so I looked at the picture, and I got some paint. I just started blotting, and he came out. His eyes were really nice, and I put a little bow tie on him, and that was what started the whole cats. And then I started doing pet portraits, and then I started putting bodies on them, and then I started incorporating San Marcos, and then everything I do is just stuff I experienced through life that just crosses my path. If it's a bird that, I painted this bird that had a dart sticking through his head, and he came out to me with a dart through his head, so I started painting him. And he lived for about 4 months downtown. He kind of became famous, and I painted him on walls. And if you go to San Marcos, he's in about 3 or 4 different businesses. He's kind of in the streets. He's just kind of painted there. This bird with a dart through his head. Call him Dart Bird, Dorito, I don't know. So just the river's been very influential too, and the people and the history of San Marcos. I just started digging things up. I live right next to the cemetery, and kind of walk through the graves and there's a peacock there. I talked to the peacock, and I just talked to animals. Live I'm very thankful for what's happened to me, just what I'm doing, what I've done, and I'm very, like, everything, just like being here, everything that happens, I don't know how it does, it just happens, and I'm just like, I don't know, I feel very fulfilled that what I've done, that, if I were to, like, leave tomorrow I feel like I did what I needed to do. But I want to do more too. And I don't know, I wrote some. As long as it gets frozen, I'm like, I don't know what to talk about. Do y'all have any questions or anything, or?
What's your favorite piece?
That's a good question.
My favorite piece where?
That you've done?
Well, there's one, I don't know, for some reason, there's one in my bedroom that I won't let go of, and it's a geisha cat, and it was our cat. When I first started painting, we had 2 cats, and geisha, I painted her, and I think that was the first time I painted something that was, I remember that day my friend came over, and he's like, Rene, you painted that. He's like, that looks like someone, that's a really good painting, dude. This is like when I first started painting, I was like, oh. And I was like, yeah, and I was like, okay. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna keep that painting, and I just kept that painting. So, I mean, that might be my favorite one.
I'd love to know more about why you painted the cover art that we're using for Borderlands, why that piece came to fruition.
Well, that one was okay because I went to my friend's house and took a picture of her chicken. So that's how everything starts. You know, I never took any art or nothing. I took a photography class in high school, so I've always been a photographer. And so I took a picture of a chicken, and then I started painting her, and I kind of, you know, it's just that whole like, you know, it's like don't be scared to do, you know, just go out there and do it. Don't. But then a lot of the ones, if you look at all my work, a lot of it's talking shit to people, but it's usually kind of turn around and talking shit to myself. So it's kind of like telling myself, kind of like don't be a wuss and stuff, because I am a lot. I just kind of like I'm always kind of shy of saying stuff. So it talks to me a lot. I have it in my kitchen. So I guess that's why. Yes.
So you have a very unique style, and so I wanted to know who are some of your artistic influences that kind of helped you come into your own style.
You know, it's funny because when I started painting, I didn't study art. I can tell you hardly anything about any artist. I started picking up on some like animal artists because people were like, oh, your work's like, you know, this guy or that guy, but I don't really pick up much. Like there's a few, like the portrait of myself, it looks like Frida Kahlo, because it was kind of like it was a painting, it was a show of Frida Kahlo that I was invited to show at, so I was like, they said, why don't you just paint a self-portrait of yourself? I'm like, okay, I'll do that, so I kind of did that, and they're just, like I said, it's my photography that influences me, and my cats, and the river, and you know, and a lot. I've been doing a lot of plein air stuff lately, where I just go out and sit at the river and paint a scene or something, and I hold it up, and it matches the background, and you can see it on Instagram. It blends right in. But I like to say those paintings are kind of boring because they're just landscape paintings. But I take them home and I might add a little something to make them fun, or I just leave them the way they are. I'm just always trying to do different things. Yeah. Is that it? No.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
It seems like there's a real sense of humor in your work. Can you talk about your process of incorporating that into your paintings? Does it kind of come as you're painting, or do you have a sort of a vision in mind when it comes to bringing that lightness to the work? I really enjoy that and respond to that.
Yeah, I've always been like a little kind of like, I always enjoy making people laugh, and sometimes it's hard to get the words out, but I love sitting down and painting, and just when that painting makes me laugh, like those are the best ones. I'm like sitting there and then I do something, and it might just be a regular painting, and I do something. I'm like very cool, and then I'm really satisfied when that happens. That's kind of my goal for most of them. you know, most of them are very lighthearted, kind of fun, kind of just smile. That's what they're meant to do, is kind of make you happy. Is that it? But thank y'all again, so